Hello everyone, welcome to Energy Circle's VSPTenneti channel, mitraaya namaha. We are back with yet another fantastic episode in the Sarva Ratna Sundaram series. This is part number 7. Is your best friend trustworthy? Ratnalila reached the hotel in Hyderabad and it was unusually crowded. Though it was one of the most luxurious 5-star hotels, he had rarely seen such a huge crowd. He asked the security guard who carried his luggage if something was happening. The security guard Sanju informed Ratnalila that a celebrity had checked into the hotel a few minutes ago, so the press gathered to interview her. Sanju left the luggage at the front of his desk and returned to receive another customer at the entrance. The hotel ambience was so pleasurable that Ratnalila instantly felt refreshed. The lady at the front desk office had her back to Ratnalila and instructed the chef about a few customized services. Ratnalila bent down to take out his ID proof from his laptop bag, and the moment he stood up, the lady turned around and they bumped into each other. The sheets and pen that the lady had and Ratnalila's ID card, they fell on the floor. The lipstick mark had rubbed on to Ratnalila's shirt in a split second. They both hurried to grab the sheets from the floor and bumped their head also. Ratnalila took a deep breath and held her by her shoulders. He signaled her to wait and bent down to pick up her sheets as well as his ID card. When he got up and handed over the sheets to her, she had turned red with embarrassment and she was blushing seeing the lipstick mark. They saw each other and burst out into laughter. Ratnalila read her name from the tag neatly pinned to the left side of her elegant royal blue saree with a peacock pattern. The golden tag read her name Bindumala in black. She blushed and went back to her desk right behind her. Welcome, sir. I am Bindumala. I am the front desk and room service manager. Do you have your booking for today? Ratnalila felt enthralled with her elegance. He smiled and gave his ID card. Hello, what does your database say, miss? Bindumala shook her head and blushed even more. Let me check that for you, sir. After typing the details on her desktop, she nodded. Yes, sir. We have a booking for the presidential suite. Give me a moment and I shall help you finish the check-in formalities. Ratnalila nodded and watched her get all the documents ready while her attention was entirely on him. After around 5 minutes, she gave him the papers to sign and took out the key card for his room. Her long hair moved with her head gestures so much in sync that she looked like a beautiful angel. She came to Ratnalila and replied, "Let me escort you to your room, sir." And they both walked towards the lift. Ratnalila felt so much at ease and his mood was uplifted. As they entered the lift, they glanced at each other and smiled Ratnalila looked down at her lipstick mark on his shirt and teased, I didn't know that I would get a complimentary gift right at my arrival, miss. Bindumala laughed. She looked gorgeous. I am sorry about it, sir. So, where are you coming from? Ratnalila gleamed. I work in Delhi, Bindumala. That was the first time he took her name and both smiled, feeling a sense of chill across the spine. He continued, I reached Hyderabad at noon and will stay here for probably a week or so. Where are you from, miss? Bindumala nodded. Oh, it's nice to have you here for the next week, sir. I am working here for 2 years now. However, my native is Mysore in Karnataka. They got off the lift and walked as he spoke. Oh, lovely. Do you visit Mysore often then? She shook her head. Not really, sir. I work here the entire week and work on my passion during the weekends. Ratnalila was impressed and asked mischievously, Wow! And what are you passionate about, miss? Bindumala swiped the key card of room number 343 and opened the door for him. We have an entire week to speak about my passion. You may enjoy the comfort of your room now, sir. Ratnalila felt so alive with Bindumala. They both laughed as she gave him a tour guide of his room. He hardly noticed his room. He was watching her closely as she spoke magically. Once she briefed him about the room, she bid goodbye. She said, For any service or query, you can call our front desk at 111. Ratnalila grinned. The phone may ring quite often this week, miss. Bindumala laughed and walked away, closing the door behind her. He looked at her lipstick mark on his shirt and smiled. He unpacked his luggage and organized his things in the room. The vanilla-scented candles in the bathroom invited him to take a hot shower. But by then, his phone rang. It was his office boss from Delhi, Samarth. Ratnalila answered, Hello, Samarth. Samarth spoke firmly. Hello, Ratna. Is everything alright? I checked your email last night. What happened that you had to rush to Hyderabad? Ratnalila sat down on his bed as he spoke. Samarth, quite a few things have taken place since yesterday, and I had to attend to a few crucial things in Hyderabad that came up at the last moment. I could not even meet you and explain all these things. However, nothing to worry about. I will finish my work soon and be back. Samarth patiently listened. Okay, Ratna, don't worry about the lined up meetings. I will handle them. If you need any help, drop me a message. Take care. Ratnalila felt so grateful for having Samarth as his boss. While he lay on his cozy bed after the call, Ratnalila did not even realize when he fell asleep. It was around 4 p.m. when he woke up. He felt very hungry and he called the front desk to check if the restaurant downstairs was still open. Bindumala answered, Hello, front desk and room service. How may I help you? Her voice soothed his ears and he smiled. Hello, miss. Bindumala could instantly recognize Ratnalila's voice and rubbed her forehead, smiling at the morning instance. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? She asked lovingly. I am hungry, miss. Is there any place you would recommend me to fill my stomach? Bindumala giggled. Sir, the restaurant downstairs is open 24/7. So, you can come down and have your food. You can also place your order on the phone now, sir, and I will ensure your food is ready by the time you arrive. Ratnalila winked. That's amazing, miss. Surprise me with a dish you like. Bindumala shook her head. Sure, sir. I will see what best I can do for you. Ratnalila looked outside the huge window. The hotel looked extravagant. He showered and got ready to go downstairs. When he reached the restaurant and shared his room details, the chef, Ajay, already had the dish prepared for him. Ratnalila sat down in the restaurant and scrolled through his phone notifications. By then, the chef served the hot and delicious looking dosa. Ratnalila exclaimed, Wow, that looks delicious. Thank you, Ajay. Ajay nodded. My pleasure, sir. I hope you like it. It is the special Mysore masala dosa that Bindumala madam ordered for you. Ratnalila smiled and started having lunch, while Ajay got busy in the kitchen. The dosa tasted yummy and spicy with the potato filling and the green chutney. To his surprise, a sweet voice spoke while he savored his food. Bindumala cleared her throat. I hope you like the food I ordered for you, sir. Ratnalila wanted to surprise her too, so he replied, Nim kade Mysore masala dose tumba chanagide. The masala dosa from your native Mysore is very nice. Bindumala widened her eyes in shock. Abba, nimge Kannada barutta? Oh my God, do you know Kannada? Ratnalila laughed. Tumba enu illa, swalpa barutte. Not much, I know just a little bit. Bindumala felt so glad to listen to Ratnalila. She gently clapped in appreciation and left to attend to the other customers. Ratnalila finished his lunch and came out to the lobby. There were various small stalls and Ratnalila took a slow walk watching each of them. There was a water fountain that created the pleasing sound of water flowing beside a small tea shop. Further, there was an Italian restaurant as well. They placed a few of the beautiful souvenirs of elephants to make the place attractive. As Ratnalila walked further, there was a small stall of jewels. He got curious and went closer to them. A royal blue velvet cloth had different kinds of pearls and gemstones arranged neatly. He looked at the various colored stones when a lady spoke to him. Can I help you, sir? Ratnalila looked confused and the lady immediately replied, Hello, sir. I am Chitralekha. I am the customer relationship manager. She looked so confident and charismatic. She tied her hair neatly in a bun and wore a red sari. A golden tag with her name Chitralekha shined on the left side of her sari. She had a pleasant smell of lavender perfume that radiated well with her stature. Ratnalila blinked his eyes and replied, I was just checking these beautiful glitters. His sentence matched the description of both the gemstones and Chitralekha perfectly. She smiled vibrantly. "Sure, sir. Enjoy your time. Let me know if you need anything." Ratnalila inquired, "So, are you from Hyderabad?" Chitralekha looked at him in the eye. "No, sir. I am from Mumbai." Ratnalila smiled. "Oh, if you were from Hyderabad, I could have asked you about the pearls that Hyderabad is famous for throughout the entire country." Chitralekha lit up. "You can ask me anything about pearls. I have been in Hyderabad for the last 4 years, and there is always something more fascinating about pearls found here." Ratnalila nodded. "Sure. So I know who will guide me to discover these beauties in the coming days." Chitralekha blushed slightly and she rubbed her thumb on her wrist. "Sure, sir. My pleasure to help you." Ratnalila watched her as she walked back towards the front desk. While on her way, she turned around and looked at Ratnalila, who was already looking at her. Both of them smiled and nodded at each other. A tall man, neatly dressed in a black blazer, reached the jewel shop at which Ratnalila stood. He had a broad, welcoming smile and spoke. "Hello, sir. I am Bhargav. Are you looking for something?" Ratnalila understood that he was the one taking care of the jewel shop. Ratnalila smiled and looked at the different gemstones, pearls, and jewels. There were beautiful yellow, green, blue, pink, red, white, and many other shades of stones that sparkled in the bright light of the shop. Ratnalila pointed at a golden yellow-colored gemstone and asked, "Which stone is this? Could you share any valuable information about this?" Bhargav replied, "This is central Pushyaragam, sir. It has more than 100 konas, angles, and this is tremendously powerful. If Kona Puja is performed for central Pushyaragam in the southwest corner along with Indradyumna Smarana, Navagraha Dikpalaka Shanti, and consecrated in the southwest corner, then eye defects, torture of enemies, defects in the house, internal clashes, all of these will be removed from that person's life." Ratnalila exclaimed, "Dear God, how do you know such technicalities of gemstones?" Bhargav smiled brightly. "Sir, my father is very passionate about gemology, so he keeps sharing so much precious information like this with me." Bhargav pointed at one of the red gemstones and continued, "Like, this is a ruby gemstone. People experiencing health issues in the spinal cord and skin diseases can wear a necklace made from the beads of ruby. We can wear ruby as a ring as well. Name and fame flourish in a household if we decorate a ruby in the eastern corner of the puja mandir. Placing heavy ruby in medical shops, therapeutic centers, and hospitals can restore quick health, heal diseases, and distance away irritations. Consecration of ruby in a Vartulakara Mandalam, that is, circular fashion, on a Sunday in the Ravi Hora will yield an extremely powerful result. One can achieve optimum results by appeasing their father on the day the ruby is worn by felicitating him and taking his blessings." Ratnalila carefully listened to Bhargav. Some of the points Bhargav mentioned reminded him of Janaki. Ratnalila looked at the other stones and one photo caught his eye. It was a huge red gemstone with a star shape in its center. Ratnalila inquired curiously, "Which gemstone is this?" Bhargav's excitement rose. "Oh, that's the Rosser Reeves star ruby, sir." Ratnalila was puzzled. "Is that the name of the gemstone?" Bhargav nodded to clarify. "Yes, sir. Rosser Reeves was an advertising giant during the 1950s and the 1960s. He helped Dwight D. Eisenhower in his electoral campaigns, who went on to become the 34th President of the United States of America. This ruby is from Sri Lanka, and there is a story that Rosser Reeves purchased this ruby at an auction in Istanbul. They say the gemstone was a whopping 140 carats when they found it. However, it had a lot of scratches and marks that were polished and chiseled out. After that, the gemstone weighed 138.7 carats, one of the biggest rubies found. Ratnalila felt thrilled. What are these silver-like lines coming out of the center of this gemstone? Bhargav took out the photo and explained. The star rubies belong to the family of corundum. There is something called asterism. This is a phenomenon where the light gets trapped inside the gemstones and it reflects as a star. In the case of Rosser Reeves star ruby, titanium gets trapped inside the crystal of the corundum and forms needle-like structures called rutile. They are the silver milky-like lines emerging from the center of the gemstone that looks like a star. Ratnalila took the picture and watched closely. "Where can I buy this gemstone, Bhargav?" Bhargav laughed. "Oh, even I asked this question to my father because I felt so keen on buying this. However, my father told me that Rosser Reeves owned this gemstone. In fact, he took it with him wherever he went and he loved it so much. It seems Rosser Reeves credited this particular gemstone with his magnanimous success. He lovingly called the star ruby his baby and his lucky charm. However, in 1965, Mr. and Mrs. Reeves decided that a gemstone as magnificent as this should belong to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., and he donated the star ruby to the institution. Ratnalila's eyes widened. Wow! So, is the Rosser Reeves star ruby still in the Smithsonian Institute? Bhargav nodded. "Yes, sir. It's my dream to visit and see this gemstone for myself." Ratnalila felt mesmerized talking to Bhargav. "Thank you so much for elaborating on the gemstones, Bhargav." Bhargav shook his hands. "My pleasure, sir. I am happy that you are curious about these precious gemstones rather than just buying them because they look beautiful. For how long are you staying here, sir?" Ratnalila smiled. "As of now, the plan is to stay for a week. Let's see how it goes, Bhargav." Ratnalila did not realize that it was already 7:30 p.m. He bid goodbye to Bhargav and returned to his room. He opened his laptop to find information about a few things related to his family. Meanwhile, he got a call from his friend Shekhar. Shekhar spoke joyfully. "Hi Ratna, how are you? Did you speak to Guruji?" Ratnalila smiled. "Yes, Shekhar, I spoke to him. He told me to take off the Cobalt King gemstone." Ratnalila did not want to elaborate or go over the details of it. Shekhar understood that Ratnalila could be upset and asked, "Ratna, why don't we meet for coffee in the evening? It has been a long time anyway." Ratnalila replied, "Oh no, Shekhar, I am in Hyderabad now. I reached a few hours before. Shekhar was surprised. I did not know you had office travel, Ratna. No problem. We can catch up when you are back. Ratnalila could no longer hold back his thoughts. Not office work, Shekhar. My family seems to be involved in gemology, which I had no clue about. You know, there are so many questions I have no answers for about my own family. Shekhar whispered, You have no clue about the mysteries hidden from you, Ratna? Shekhar realized he had spoken about something that he was tight-lipped about all these years. He regretted and swallowed his words immediately. Ratnalila could not believe Shekhar knew something about his family. They had been friends from the last 8 years and not even once had Shekhar spoken anything about Ratnalila's family. Ratnalila asked, What do you mean by hidden mysteries, Shekhar? Shekhar tried to cover up. Oh, Ratna, I meant every family has some secrets. Do not worry much about them. Ratnalila was shocked that his closest and his best friend also hid something from him. Ratnalila felt hurt, angry, disappointed and curious at the same time. By then, the hotel room doorbell rang and Ratnalila replied, Shekhar, I have someone at the door. I will call you back later. What was Shekhar hiding from Ratnalila? Did Shekhar know anything about Ratnalila's family? If yes, why did he not say anything about it in the last 8 years? Could Ratnalila trust Shekhar after this incident? Stay tuned with us to unravel all these hidden mysteries and more to come. Bye for now.